My husband and I are drifters or roadies. We travel everywhere and work from the comfort of our RV. Last month, my sister-in-law called us and basically begged us for help. Her home is starting to fall apart, and she doesn't have the money for repairs. We have absolutely no issues whatsoever helping my sister-in-law, both financially and physically, labor-wise. She's a good woman and would do the same for us. She's married, but her husband is utterly useless. He's worked maybe 4 months total out of the 12 years they've been married, and still treats her like crap. Battered wife syndrome to the fullest. We feel bad for her, but she's a much larger woman with severe insecurities and feels no one else will ever love her, so she sticks by him. It's sad. So my husband and I parked our RV outside her home, and we've been repairing her house for her. As payment, she makes our meals every day and night, and we can shower and run our electricity from her home so we don't waste gas and water. She's always expressing her gratitude. Now we have to fix her foundation, her roof, and some of her walls. Water damage. We have all the resources and knowledge and licenses to do so, but at least 3 times a day, her husband is yelling at us. Stop opening that door so much. Get your butt out of the shower. You're taking too long. You ain't having the leftovers. Those are mine. This is my house. And quit turning on those lights. It's literally constant. I swear he only gets up off his butt to yell at us for something. And sister-in-law always has our back, but it just starts arguments between them. Well, yesterday I had enough. My sister-in-law was on a phone interview, and he went into her room to start yelling at her for us blocking his access to his front door. He never leaves, so I don't know what the issue was. She gets off the phone and just starts crying and goes upstairs. I lost it a bit and said, when you get off your lazy butt and actually contribute to literally anything in life is when you can start bossing me around. Until then, sit on that couch and leave my sister-in-law and us alone. He started in with the whole, this is my house BS. So I retorted with, the heck it is. It's your daughter's house. Neither you nor your wife's name is on this property. The house was given to their child when father-in-law passed. The kid is a teen. He actually left, and my sister-in-law is now upset. Am I the idiot for telling my brother-in-law that when he gets a job and starts contributing, then he can boss me around? Holy crap. You deserve a medal for sticking up for yourselves. Not the idiot. Probably feels weird to say that since you are in his home, but it sounds like he contributes nothing positive and can't appreciate what is essentially free work being done to the house. You are licensed, no less. Losers are losers. His leaving the house is not a loss. It's too bad you can't keep him away. Your sister-in-law seems like a saint who deserves so much better than dealing with this. Sure, was it below the belt? Yes, but was it undeserved? Absolutely not. He needed that reality check, and you can tell it hurt too, since he left the room in silence. As doubtful as I am that this will change his behavior, he now knows it's not above reproach, and people are willing to call him on his crap. I also don't think he'll change, and I also think the only reason he left is that OP and husband are repairing his house. Otherwise, I fully believe he would have kicked them out, or at least tried. But sister-in-law also needs a reality check. This man does not love her, or he wouldn't treat her this way. I even doubt he respects her. She needs to get rid of this loser. I'm a little torn. Everything you wrote makes me hate this guy, and I believe he absolutely deserves what you said and more. Honestly, I love what you said. But if he abuses your sister-in-law and she refuses to leave him, this dent to his absurd ego might be taken out on her, you know? So my instinct is everyone's the idiot because of what it might mean for sister-in-law. I'm worried about your sister-in-law too. I just left a toxic marriage, and it was really tough. I understand that she has insecurities, but I'm wondering if you can help her leave that utter disgrace of a husband. I've been away from my awful ex for 2 years, and I'm still dealing with the aftershocks. It takes a while, but I'd hate to see her in that situation, any longer than she has to be. I, 26 female, work for an airline, and one of the job's best perks is free travel, not just for myself, but also for my loved ones. My boyfriend, 27, Bai, asked last month if I could book him a flight to go to an art exhibition with his longtime friend, who for a period he used to date. At the time, I didn't think much of it. Earlier this afternoon, I asked what hotel he was staying at and how much the room cost. This was when he mentioned saving money and they'd be sharing a hotel room. Even though I believe their relationship is completely platonic, this still makes me feel uncomfortable, and I don't personally feel like it's appropriate to be sharing a hotel room with someone you used to be in a relationship with. I found him some cheap hotel rooms, which don't cost more than $150 for the night, and even offered to let him use my industry discount on the room to cut the price even more. Nonetheless, the conversation escalated into an argument where he started accusing me of being insecure and paranoid and that they were just sharing to save money. In the heat of the moment, I got upset and told him if he wasn't going to respect my boundaries, he could pay for his own ticket, which would cost over $700 on such short notice. That's outside of his price range, and if I don't book him the ticket, the trip will be canceled. On the one hand, I feel like an idiot because I don't really think anything would happen between them, and I don't want him to miss out on the exhibition that he's been so excited to see. I also feel it'd be an idiot move to renege on my promise, but at the same time, it also irks me that I've set a boundary that I feel is reasonable, and he doesn't respect it or seem to even care about it. Am I the idiot? Wait, what? If my SO was going on a trip with their ex, who's also a friend, I would very much expect them not to share a bed, regardless of gender. They can also share a room with twin beds. Why does it have to be one bed? And as their partner, I would completely respect the fact that my SO is uncomfortable for not being okay with me sharing a bed with my ex. What on earth, people? Not the idiot. Honey, he requested that you organize free plane fare for him and then drop the bomb that he'd be sharing a room and a bed with his ex? No, he purposefully waited to fill you in on that. You're not paranoid or insecure. It also blows my mind that your partner's reaction to your feelings about it was anything other than, "Oh, of course, if you're uncomfortable with that, we'll make different arrangements." If he respected you, this arrangement would have never been in his plans. Drop him. You are the idiot. You don't trust him. Period. You set boundaries for yourself, not for other people. You're demanding he and his friend not share a room, even though you've both shared rooms with other people to save money because you do think something might happen. You even say that you wouldn't care if it was anybody else. I'd have zero issues with my husband sharing a room or a bed with an ex. We've traveled with exes before, and believe it or not, you can stay friends with an ex and have a completely normal platonic relationship. He's been very excited about this trip, and I think it's an idiot move to ruin it over something like this. If he wanted to cheat on you, he would. He doesn't need a trip and a hotel room to do it. Yeah, imagine how he feels. He's all excited about this art exhibit trip with his friend, and now because you're afraid something will happen, he can't go? I'd be pretty upset if I had a whole trip planned and last minute it was ruined because my partner thought I'd cheat on them. Geez. My father's health has started to decline, and my 3 siblings have agreed to fund not only our father's current care, but also our mother's future care. Between the 4 of us, we can keep our parents in their homes without worrying about dealing with the hassle and bureaucracy around managed long-term care. All 4 of us understand that our father's care will progressively increase, and thus the cost. We've agreed to each split the cost 4 ways, while also using a portion of our current investments and savings to fund a trust for our parents. To ease some of the long-term cost, we all agreed to pay off our parents' house and eliminate all their debt. We each make a decent living, and we all live comfortable lives, and we have minimal to no debt. Each of us felt this was the right thing to do. My siblings' partners had their own concerns, but understood why their respective partners chose to do this. My situation is a tad different. My siblings have partners that work and only have 1 to 2 children. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, and while we have no children, between the two of us, she has 3 children from a past marriage, and 1 has special needs. My income covers everything we need and more. However, rightfully, she worries about the future since anything can happen. My wife's not too keen on me agreeing to commit to funding my parents' care when they could live for another 25 to 30 years. She's worried about our future. I do understand her concerns, and as I told her, while foolish and naive of me, I just don't have the headspace to think that far into the future. All I can do is take care of what I can now and do my best to plan for the future. She wasn't pleased with this mindset, understandably so. She explained how that extra money could bolster the kids' college funds and our future, among other things. This is correct, but as I explained to her, this is an agreement all 4 of us have made, and while I do love you and the kids, I will refuse to let my siblings go down this path and care for our parents without my support, because our situation differs slightly from theirs. She then asked me, what happens if things get unsustainable? I told her if they do get unsustainable, I will cross that bridge. She kept pressing for an answer when I said we just have to figure it out. If one income is no longer sustainable, we may have to get 2 incomes for the house. With that being said, after hours of going back and forth, I told my wife, I understand your feelings and concerns. I will still be helping my parents. That's just how it'll be. I kindly asked her to please understand the situation and my circumstances. She called me an idiot for ignoring every one of her concerns and issues and committing myself to something that may very well become unsustainable in the future as care costs increase and our own personal expenses increase. Not the idiot, but you're supporting your wife and her children from another relationship. Why is it okay for you to provide her and her children with such generosity, but you can't help support the parents who raised and took care of you? She brought children into the world that she isn't financially supporting. Instead, she found a guy who isn't their father, but was willing to support her and her children, which allows her to be a stay-at-home mom to kids that aren't yours. I understand her concerns, but maybe she should get a job to fund her children's college fund rather than expecting you to do it at the expense of helping to support your elderly parents. Yeah, dude, she expects you to pay for her and her kids, but not your parents. Your wife should be receiving child support for her 3 children from their father or government assistance if he's not in the picture. Her 3 kids can apply for scholarships, and you can address any needed loans when that time comes. Your parents need assistance now, and you're right to work with your siblings to make sure that they're cared for. You're wrong. She won't receive government assistance while married to someone who makes a decent income. It's everyone's the idiot here. You married her, so you agreed to take on the kids, agreed to her staying home because of her child. The sole money breadwinner or not, stepfather or bio, you married her. It's a joint decision. She's the idiot because you should have the right to support your parents. But here's the thing. I'm all for helping family. I was raised that way. But knowing 25 to 30 years, a great big chunk would be going there, and you're not planning for the worst situation, would be a red flag. Yes, she can go back to work, but you're looking at minimum wage for her. Will that pay the bills? I'm just saying, maybe think about what the plans are. What if you lose your job? Are you putting money back to keep you afloat? Because you can't help anyone if you can't help yourself. My daughter is 18, Emma. Before she turned 18, we had a rule that I could ask them to change if the outfit wasn't appropriate. Rarely happened because I truly only cared if the main parts were covered. Now, when they turn 18, they're an adult, and most of the house rules don't really apply. We were invited to the wedding of a close friend. My daughter's friends with her daughter, and I'm friends with the mother. They're religious. I know this, and she knows this. It was a church, and the invite said modest, no cleavage, knee length, etc. I didn't expect anything else. Well, a few weeks ago, Emma showed me what dress she was going to wear, and I mentioned that it won't work. The dress was cute but strapless. The top was too tight, and it pushed up a bit. I thought she would change it, but didn't. So on the wedding day, she wore that. I even commented that it won't work again. She said it would be fine. Also, where I'm from, modesty's never having shoulders exposed, so I knew it wouldn't work for that at all. A cardigan probably would have fixed all the problems. Well, we got there, and her friend's brother stopped her at the door. She tried to argue but got kicked out. I still went to the wedding. I got home today, and she called me an idiot for not defending her and staying at the wedding with their old school dress code. Am I the idiot for letting my daughter be kicked out of a wedding? OP, I once saw a woman's shoulders at a wedding, and now I'm pregnant with twins. Emma needs to think about the consequences of her choices. Seriously shocked over strapless. How dare she? I gasped at this. You didn't control your daughter. You just warned her about the dress code. You even warned her twice, and she chose to ignore you. Then had the nerve to get mad that you didn't cause a scene. What the heck did she expect would happen? Your daughter has the maturity of a 13-year-old. She chose to ignore it, and as a result, she wasn't let in. That's not your fault. Sounds like she was trying to make a point about the dress code. Disrupting someone else's wedding is not the right way to do it. She should have RSVP'd in the negative and said why. That would have let her stand up for herself without disrupting someone else's wedding. I assume Emma can read. I assume she can understand what she reads. She needs a reality check. I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, Sarah, 29, for 3 years. The relationship has been going great, and I love how amazing she is. But lately, I've been tired. We decided to move into a new apartment 2 months ago, and I also took a new job. The new job has been a bit stressful compared to my last job. Luckily, I'm still getting time for my personal hobbies, like going to the gym and going out with Sarah. Now, the problem I want to talk about is my lack of sleep. I've been sleeping alone since I was a teen, and now sleeping with someone else is kind of bothering me. I'm used to the peace of sleeping alone. My girlfriend likes to sleep with a low fan. She takes up too much space in the bed, and most importantly, she snores sometimes, which ruins my sleep completely. She also has no concern for my sleep, as she wakes up before me and either switches on lights or makes noises. I'm used to sleeping 7 to 8 hours a day, but for the past few months, I've been sleeping only 4 to 5 hours because of this. So finally I got frustrated and confronted her about this. I know my girlfriend can't change in a day, so I proposed I would just sleep in the other room peacefully. She got upset and was furious about this suggestion. She believes sleeping together is a sign of love between a couple, and that she likes cuddling or sleeping on top of me, and says I should get used to it. She now thinks that I don't find her attractive, but that isn't true at all. I love my girlfriend, but all I want is a peaceful good night's sleep. So am I the idiot for this? Not the idiot. Tell her that another sign of love between a couple is a concern for the well-being of the other person, including sleep. Surely there's a way to work out a system where she doesn't have to turn on the lights and/or make noise. A nightlight could be possible. Can she prep her clothing the night before and get dressed in another room? The bed hogging, you may need to fight for that, as in pushing her away onto her side of the bed. The snoring may be a medical condition, and she may need to look into that. In any case, her disregard for your well-being is very selfish, and her telling you that you should get used to it is so entitled. Red flags galore on the me girlfriend. Thank you. She is a wonderful and caring person, but acts immature when it comes to these things. She scrolls TikTok a lot, and there are many perfect relationship videos on her feed, which she even shows me. That's part of why she's holding on to this idea. Jesus, she's really 29 entire years old and believes that what people post on TikTok is an actual reflection of reality? Every one of those posts is a lie made up to get views and engagement. Her TikTok feed sounds toxic. There are lovely women out there who will not feel the need to use an app as a measuring stick for their relationship. Does she also do relationship tests? Ugh, that's painfully immature.